Hey guys, today we'll be doing an install of the Clearwater Darla lights on the 2020 BMW R1250Gs. Alright, this is the parts kit. Obviously you have the lights here. Mounting brackets, these are specific to the type of engine guard that you have. You have to measure the thickness of the engine guard mount bars and order according. There are like 2 or 3 different choices. Some nuts and bolts for the mounting. And this is the relay and the main wiring harness that connects to the battery. And of course, the can opener. The CAN bus system supported. This is what we would use. A set of wire ties and an assortment of tools. I think I'll be using most of these tools. The Torx set for the install. Okay, so the installation is pretty straightforward. Install these L brackets, and then this is how the light is going on top of it. All right, so there's a bit of an issue with regards to the mounts. These come in different diameters. I had to get the 21-22 millimeter because although I measured the diameter of the SW Motec crash bars, but it turns out the diameter is not uniform. So the front facing bar where the light is supposed to go is actually 21.43 millimeters. So that's why there was a bit of a delay. Got in touch with Clearwater, had to order a replacement. As for the original 28 millimeter, should be able to return that without any problem. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is take this panel off, this one right here, so I can get better access to the bike when it comes to fishing out the wire. Okay, so just wanted to cover the fishing of the wire portion of the install. I fed the wire from down below, pointing upwards. It was much easier for in order to be able to guide that. There's a bit of a curve in this fish wire that they gave us, but it was pretty straightforward. Just guide it right through, and it comes out right here, right around the steering head, and just make sure wherever it comes out for you that you turn it, the steering both directions, to make sure there's no pinch point. I'm going to apply some electrical tape and connect the wiring harness to it so we can pull it out on the other side. I removed the fuse. You can always attach it later on when it comes out, because obviously you won't be able to fish this fat fuse through that tiny space that we have carved out for ourselves. So again, this is the relay. This is a portion that will more than likely stay in the front of the bike. So I'm going to attach this end right here. Okay, let's give it a shot, see if we can make it come where we want it to go. Okay, looks like I've hit a bit of a snag. Obviously I can't capture this on the camera. Okay, that worked out. Okay. And there you can see down below. Again, let me just do a quick zoom in where things are. So you see down here, right through this opening. There are other wires coming out, so I think it's pretty safe. Same thing on this side. We'll get a better angle here. Alright, there you go. So this is again is a battery. That's the cover that we took off right here. As you can see, there are other wires in that vicinity, so I think this should be a safe point to pull that wire out of. Alright, next I'm gonna try to put it right behind this trellis so we can run it to the battery, and then from there we're gonna head backwards. The plan is to go right under the tank here and then come out right here, right next to this socket. I see that there's a wire under here already coming under this large diameter tube right under it, so I'm going to try to follow the route of that wire because I know that's a safe route for this wire to take, and obviously I'll be generously using wire ties throughout the process, so keep extra and handy. So because the space is fairly limited, I'm going to do this in 2 steps. I'm going to fish it again because I need to run the extension wire for the CAN bus, because the relay obviously resides in the front of the bike, whereas the CAN bus is going to be under the pillion rider seat. So I'm just going to repeat the same thing I did earlier. Okay, perfect. So we got the extension for the CAN bus coming out alongside the main harness wire. So I'll continue to route it and we'll be right back. Alright, so this bike has the tire pressure monitor back here. So we're going to be unplugging this connector here, and that's where the CAN bus CAN opener is what they call it. This device, I'm planning to mount it like so, and hopefully I can figure this out. Okay, I got the plug disconnected, so that one there's a notch that tells you which way is the right way. And then this is going to be a bit tricky. There's not a lot of room behind the plug, so I'm going to just twist it ahead of time. Alright, there you go. Alright, so snug this up here somehow. Yeah, I think like that should be fine. Hopefully there are no pinch points. Go ahead and clean the area ahead of time of any dust. Quality adhesive, so it should be fine. Plus it's Velcro. Okay, give it some Good pressure. There we go. Alright, so tuck these guys down. Don't need them. Final connection. Well, not final, but as far as the CAN bus goes. Alright. So things are pretty snug back here. I highly doubt it we would need to zip tie anything, but we'll still go over at the end, snug everything up. I went ahead and removed the fuse, the safety precaution. I think that's what they recommend as well before we start wiring up the battery harness. So I pulled the access wire down, and instead of bunching up extra wire up top near the steering column, I'd rather put the access wire here near the battery compartment. So let's see. Red to red and black to black. Alright. Strap out of here. Okay. I'm going to reposition that connector just a little bit. Okay. Alright, for this one, we need a wrench. So let's see here. To make it so the fuse is accessible easily in case. Okay, I snugged in the wire right back there. A couple of zip ties. Okay, so now the wiring is out of the way. let's focus on the installation of the actual lights. So this is how the adapter works. And the light rests on top like that. As you can see, it's got adjustability left to right. So I'm trying to see what's the most optimal position. If I get too close, further out. I'm gonna go for the wider look, so I'm gonna try to position them out here. And then I'm going to adjust the light so it faces forward, because there's a bend in this design of SW Motec engine guard. It's not a straight rod that goes from here to here. There's a bend and it bends backwards. So, but because I have adjustability, I can make the light point forward towards the bike as opposed to pointing outwards. I would recommend you not tighten them, because these are obviously a millimeter shorter than the diameter of the bar, because they're going to leave an indentation if you tighten them and then decide to change the angle. That's how they're going to stay where I'm going to mount them, is because they tend to pinch the actual pipe. So I'm just going to dry fit it by hand for now, just to get rough position. I'm going to use 25 millimeters as a reference. I mean, that is the distance from the outer pipe right here to the actual bracket, so both sides are equal. Okay. So, as you can see, it can be adjusted in and out. Just going to do final adjustment once everything is installed. I'm going to test it out outside. I brought the lights somewhat inside. I just wanted to make them clear of the guard itself. I don't want them to be catching something. Just want to make it standard on both sides. There's no inconsistency on the left and right side. So I'm gonna level it, and it looks level. Alright, the mounts are set on both sides. Next step is to feed the wires through, line up the lights. Just want to do a quick zoomed in view of where the wires are coming out. And this is where I've tucked in the relay, right under this tank cover piece. There's just a tons of space down here, you can see, and this is where I've placed a relay and attached it with two wire ties to the existing wiring harness that was already there. I checked for clearance on both sides of the steering angle to make sure there are no pinch points. Alright, let's look down here. So alright, so this is where the two leads for the wires, the actual wiring harnesses for the lights are coming out. and let's set up the lights and we'll do some final rundown. These wires come with extensions, but I don't think I would need to use them. Let me adjust the position. I'm just gonna ballpark it for now. So I can measure the length of the wire that I have to work with. Okay, so I had to reroute the wire. Previously I had it coming down, going in the middle right here. But what I ended up doing was routing it behind the radiator. So it comes right here, and I tied it, zip tied it right here to the trellis. And then it goes behind here. You can see right there. And then it follows it follows the bar here, and I have 2 wire ties right here. Alright, we'll do the same on the other side. Yeah. gonna one last look. You see right there, that's where that wire is coming down on the left side, and then same thing on the right side, going just behind the radiator. And this side was a bit shorter, which is a good thing. That means there's no extra slack. Okay, there you have it. So there are different programming modes that you can do. I'm not going to go through them. Those are in the instructions, so you can mess around with them. But that's it. Just gotta put the seats back together and it's all done. All right, thanks guys. Have any questions? Drop in a comment.